Depriving Putin of a win in Ukraine is as critical for our security and that of the free world as ending the evil regime in Iran. Hello, I'm Steve Forbes, and this is What's Ahead, where you get the insights you need to better navigate these turbulent times. A U.S.-Israeli victory in Iran would indeed be a significant blow to the imperial ambitions of China, Russia, and North Korea. And victory here means regime change. Anything less would be a dangerous blow to the credibility of the U.S. But no less important is maintaining and solidifying the true independence of Ukraine. Putin has never wavered in his demand for serious territorial concessions that would fatally undermine Ukraine's ability to defend itself from future Kremlin assaults. Concessions would also include a ban on the permanent stationing of credibly sized European forces that could act as a tripwire to any future Russian attacks. That is, a renewed invasion would trigger a war with other European states. A bad Ukraine peace would eventually end its independence, with ugly consequences for its people and its culture. Instead, we should be providing Kyiv with the means to destroy plants inside Russia making drones and other munitions, as well as key oil facilities. Russian peace promises alone mean nothing. In 1994, Russia signed an agreement guaranteeing the independence of Ukraine. Back in 1945, the Kremlin promised its wartime allies, the U.S. and Britain, that it would hold free elections in Poland. Not long after, the then Soviet Union engineered a communist takeover. Poland became a Kremlin puppet. Discouragingly, the type of peace agreement some officials in the Trump administration and in Congress desire would not only betray Ukraine, but also enable Putin to pursue his goals of taking over the Baltic nations of Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia, and perhaps Moldova. All of them had been part of the Soviet Empire. This would destroy NATO. The Baltic states are members of NATO, an alliance whose core essence is that an attack on one is an attack on all. Would the U.S. these days actually go to war if Putin invaded one of these countries under the phony pretense of protecting Russians living there? A bad Ukrainian peace would certainly tempt China to move on Taiwan, probably not with an invasion, but perhaps indirectly by seizing some nearby islands, or with the imposition of a blockade. How would the U.S. respond, knowing China in that region is superior to the U.S. militarily? Xi Jinping hopes that the Trump administration might be tempted to signal that henceforth Taiwan is on its own. In return, Beijing would agree to a great big but fake trade deal and fake promises to cease stealing our technology. Under those circumstances, Taiwan would sooner or later kowtow to Beijing. Worse, so would other nations, feeling that the U.S. no longer would stand behind their independence. China would be seen as the new dominating global power. South Korea, Japan, and perhaps others such as Germany and Poland would go all out to become nuclear powers, an ominous, destabilizing development. What is astounding and frightening with Ukraine and Taiwan is how strategically blind so many are in Washington to their profound importance to our own future well-being. I'm Steve Forbes. Thanks for listening. Do send in your comments and suggestions. I look forward to being with you soon again.